Welcome to Biggest Spoilars, the destination for exclusive spoilers, latest updates.
That Nathan West will get an arrest leave while Michael Corinthos makes a wily Corinthos concession. Jen Sidwell will also have an offer to deliver, so then's what GH suckers can anticipate. First on Wednesday's show, Sidwell will have a meeting with Felicia Scorpio, Brooke Lynn Quartermaine and Lucy Coe, so he'll give them updates on an idea he's come up with. Although Sidwell will have a way to reinvigorate deception, he may get a mixed response. Lucy tends to support Sidwell's grand plans, but getting Felicia and Brooke Lynn on board could be a tougher sell. As for Willow Kane, she'll rehearse her evidence and get Drew Kane's blessing. Drew will contend there's no way a jury would believe Willow, but Alexis Davis will have some enterprises about the questions her customer will face on the stage. Although Alexis would prefer if Willow didn't swear at each, Willow feels this is commodity she has to do. That's why Alexis will force Willow to suffer a tough grilling session in medication for her time in court. Over with Michael, he'll admit to Christina Corinthos that there's commodity he hasn't told Wiley. There'll be further than one reason why Michael's keeping Wiley in the dark on commodity. Whether Michael's cashing Willow's exact court date or the fact that he's further than musketeers with Jacinda Bracken, he'll turn to Christina for backing on Wednesday's occasion. Christina may help Michael break whatever news to Wiley that he's been holding back. At the sanitarium, Portia Robinson will feel fear rising up. Isaiah Gannon will assure Portia that he'll handle the consequences, whatever they're, so he may suppose they should come forward about being together the night of Drew's firing. Portia is eager to spread the word since Curtis Ashford assumes she's carrying his baby while Isaiah doesn't know about the gestation at all. Nonetheless, Portia may not be suitable to avoid secret spillage for much longer. At the PCPD, Nathan and Dante Falconeri will supposedly look at some security footage with ADA Justine Turner, who'll ask if that's who she thinks it's on the screen. This will lead to Nathan getting an arrest leave and taking someone into guardianship, so will it be Curtis or someone differently? Eventually, Anna Devane will continue to cloud in prison, where she's been crying to ask what her prisoner wants from her. Wednesday's exercise videotape reprises Anna's question as she tries to figure out who's holding her hostage and why. Britt wakes up from her crapulous night, hungover to find Jason sitting, watching her. Her recollections are a bit hazy, so he fills her in, also mentions giving Britt her drug. But she cuts him off before any further questions, knowing he wants to ask about it. It's okay, he'll stay. But commodity spooked her to drink. He's on her side. Perhaps, but she needs a shower, so please leave. She does thank him again, however. And as soon as she's gone she whispers to herself about daring him to kiss her. Yikes. Also, she flashes back to it all. Double yikes. Alexis hands cases over to Marco so she can concentrate on Willow's trial. Suzanne shows up with some coffee, asking to sit on trial fix. Absolutely. When Drew and Willow show up, however, he wants them all gone. Marco has places to be, so okay, but Willow wants Suzanne to stay. Alexis sits them down and has Drew walk through the night he was shot. He doesn't have a whole lot to add. He was allowing about Willow, etc., etc., also he was shot. But stay he does flash back commodity differently. But he doesn't know what. So helpful Valentine sends Charlotte a subscribe. Valentine rushes back into the house, freezing, but Carly isn't sympathetic to his plight. He asks her to get a communication to Anna. No can do, she's out of city. So rather, he asks Carly to deliver a crucial with a blue strip to let Charlotte know he's fine and stay put. Lulu brings Nathan some coffee, also Dante shows up. No luck with Valentine. Charlotte can't handle being outdoors presently, so she goes out to the veranda, with Nathan following. Dante has a talk with Lulu about Valentine, Dalton, and the reality that Sonny presumably killed him. They wrap up and just as Dante and Nathan leave, Carly shows up to check on Lulu. She's cut short by Jack's appearance, however, so Carly leaves and drops the crucial outside. Outside, Lulu refuses to let Jack use Charlotte to get to Valentine. Period. Except also Charlotte shows up, willing to talk. Will Turner take Sonny down? Over at the station, ADA Turner exchanges some amenities, also point blank asks Mac if Sonny could have killed Dalton. Absolutely. But Mac warns that if Sunny's involved, Dalton will no way be heard from again. Turner also talks effects over with Molly and lets on that she's just going on with Sunny's charm offense while she looks for the goods on him. Great, Molly warns, but everyone who's tried to take Sunny down so far have failed. Still stylish of luck. Can Laura and Sunny beat Sidwell? Laura apologizes to Sunny for calling him when she set up Dalton's body in her auto box. It's her fault Sidwell has the upper hand. Well, no. They go over everything Sidwell has on Laura, which means she has to follow Sidwell's orders. Sunny asks if she can absorb doing Sidwell's bidding until he can nail him. So far it's just a policy thing, but who knows what's next. Sunny tells her they've time before Sidwell pushes too far, he'll figure this out. They teamed up to take Frank Smith down, they'll do the same with Sidwell. Jason joins them to talk strategy. They'll let Sidwell suppose he won and get to the bottom of what he's after. They'll bring him down together. In the show's final moments, Drew and Alexis butt heads over strategy before he begrudgingly agrees to go with her plan. And Moxie. But also Willow gets all worried when she learns Alexis doesn't want her testifying. Marco drops in on Britt with access to his father's new lab. Their work continues after Dalton's unfortunate reversal. And she's in charge. Promotion. With a healthy cure of pitfalls. Charlotte doesn't actually help much, and goes outdoors to grouch while Lulu yells at Brennan some further. That's when Charlotte spots the crucial and blue strip. Carly tells Valentine she left the key, also tells him to get into the garret if he insists on staying and helping her take Brennan down. Fine. He'll stay until Anna gets back. Which presumably won't be anytime soon. She breaks from contemplation to laugh out the window. What do you want from me? The air in Port Charles hangs thick with unspoken confessions and impending confrontations. For some, the day marks the beginning of a painful yet necessary purification, a baptism by fire in the crucible of truth and consequence. For others, it is a time of fragile encouragement, a momentary shield against gathering storms. And for a dangerous few, it is the hour where smiles fade and threats are laid bare, setting the stage for battles that will redefine every alliance. As dawn breaks, the city's residents move inexorably toward moments of reckoning, where warrants will be signed, secrets will strain to burst free, and the line between salvation and ruin will blur. A proposition at deception, revival or ruination? The first moves of the day are made not in a courtroom or a police station, but in the sleek offices of deception. Jen Sidwell, a man whose ambition is matched only by his cunning, has summoned partners Felicia Scorpio, Brooke Lynn Quartermain, and the ever-enthusiastic Lucy Coe. With the air of a man unveiling a masterpiece, Sidwell presents his latest vision to reinvigorate their cosmetics empire. His idea, grandiose in scope and requiring significant buy-in, is met with the predictable spectrum of reactions he has come to expect. Lucy Coe, ever the starry-eyed optimist and believer in spectacle, leans forward, her eyes alight with immediate support. She sees the headlines, the buzz, the potential for deception to dominate not just the market, but the cultural conversation. However, across the table, Felicia and Brooke Lynn exchange a more measured, skeptical glance. Felicia's years of experience, often earned the hard way, have instilled a deep sense of caution. Brooke Lynn, fiercely protective of the Quartermain legacy and financial stability, begins mentally running the numbers, her brow furrowed. Sidwell's silver tongue works overtime, painting pictures of unparalleled success, but selling this particular dream to these two pragmatic women will be his toughest challenge yet. He is not just pitching a business plan, he is asking them to trust his map into uncharted, and potentially perilous, territory. Willow's trial by fire, a grisly preparation. While Sidwell plots commercial conquest, Willow Kane is steeling herself for a far more personal ordeal. In Alexis Davis's office, the atmosphere is one of focused intensity. Willow, with the unwavering support of her husband, Drew Kane, rehearses her testimony for the upcoming trial. Drew's faith in her is a solid rock. He looks at her with absolute conviction, insisting that any jury would be moved by her honesty and strength. "There's no way they wouldn't believe you," he affirms, his hand a steadying presence on hers. But Alexis Davis, the seasoned attorney shaped by a lifetime of navigating legal minefields, wears a mask of professional concern. Her protective instincts for her client war with her duty to prepare her for the worst. Privately, Alexis would vastly prefer Willow not take the stand at all, to spare her the brutal cross-examination that is sure to come. Yet, she recognizes the fierce determination in Willow's eyes. This is something Willow feels she must do, a cathartic act of facing her past head-on. Respecting that resolve, Alexis shifts gears. "If you're going to do this, we do it right," she states, her voice turning cool and prosecutorial. What follows is a grueling, merciless grilling session. Alexis becomes the adversary, firing rapid, invasive, and accusatory questions designed to shatter Willow's composure. She probes every vulnerable point, every possible inconsistency, forcing Willow to confront the kinds of attacks she will face. It is a baptism by fire, a painful but necessary ordeal to forge a stronger testimony. As Willow struggles to maintain her answers through the onslaught, the line between preparation and punishment blurs, revealing the true cost of the justice she seeks. Michael's concealed truths, a confession to Christina. Across town, another truth is simmering, threatening to boil over. Michael Corinthos finds himself grappling with a weighty secret, one that involves his young son, Wiley. Seeking solace and counsel, he turns to his sister, Christina Corinthos. In a moment of vulnerable admission, Michael confesses that there is something significant he has kept from Wiley. The nature of this withheld information hangs in the air between them. It could be the grim details of Willow's approaching court date, a reality he wishes to shield his son from for as long as possible. Or, perhaps more complicatedly, it could involve the shifting nature of his relationship with Jacinda Bracken, which has evolved into something deeper than mere friendship. Michael's reasons for silence are multifaceted, woven from a father's protectiveness and a man's confusion. He fears causing Wiley anxiety, disrupting his sense of stability, or prematurely introducing him to adult complexities. Yet, the burden of the secret is becoming too heavy to bear alone. He turns to Christina not just for a listening ear, but for assistance. Will she be the one to help him find the words, to be a supportive presence when the time finally comes to pull Wiley into the light of this difficult truth? Christina's role shifts in this moment from sister to potential bridge between a father's love and a son's right to know. Portia's panic, a secret on the brink. At General Hospital, panic is not an abstract concept but a palpable, rising tide for Dr. Portia Robinson. The secret she carries, her intimate involvement with Isaiah Gannon on the night Drew Kane was shot, is a live wire, and the insulation is fraying fast. Isaiah, earnest and determined to do the right thing, presses her. He assures her he will handle any consequences, believing honesty is their only path forward. He suggests they come clean about their whereabouts that fateful evening. But Portia's reality is a tangled web Isaiah doesn't fully comprehend. Curtis Ashford, her ex-husband, operates under the heartfelt belief that the child she carries is his, a hope that has begun to mend their fractured bond. Isaiah, meanwhile, remains entirely in the dark about her pregnancy. To confess one secret is to risk unraveling them all. Portia's panic is a quiet, desperate thing, a racing heart behind a professional mask. She stalls, she deflects, but the walls are closing in. The pressure from Isaiah, combined with the ever-present fear of discovery, means this house of cards may not stand for much longer. A single misstep, a stray comment, could bring it all crashing down. The law closes in, a warrant is sworn. The wheels of justice, however slow, turn with definitive force at the Port Charles Police Department. Detectives Nathan West and Dante Falconeri are deep in their investigation, hunched over a monitor with ADA Justine Turner. The grainy security footage before them holds a key piece of the puzzle. As a figure moves across the screen, Turner points, her voice sharp with recognition. "Is that who I think it is?" she asks, her legal mind already connecting dots. The identification is conclusive enough. With a determined set to his jaw, Nathan moves to secure an arrest warrant. The paperwork is signed, the authority granted. The question now pulses through the precinct. Who is the target of this warrant? Is it Curtis Ashford, whose own secrets and connections make him a person of interest in multiple intrigues? Or does the footage point the finger at another, perhaps more surprising, resident of Port Charles? The act of taking someone into custody is imminent, promising to send shockwaves through an already unstable community. Anna's captive fury, a demand in the dark. In a stark, hidden location, fury replaces fear. Anna Devane, trapped in an unknown captivity, has moved past pleading to demanding. Her voice, hoarse from shouting, cuts through the silence of her prison as she repeatedly calls out to her unseen captor. "What do you want from me?" The preview video echoes her desperate, angry question. This is no longer just a fight for escape, it is a battle for understanding. Anna uses every moment, every sound, to piece together the identity and motive of her jailer. Her mind, a well-honed weapon, races through a list of enemies and allies turned traitors. The why is as crucial as the who, and until she solves both, her formidable skills are rendered useless. Her captivity is a slow-burning fuse, and her anger is the spark that may yet ignite an explosion. Britt's hazy morning, memories and medication. The aftermath of a desperate night comes into sharp, uncomfortable focus for Dr. Britt Westbourne. She awakens in her home, the punishing throb of a hangover a stark contrast to the hazy blank spots in her memory. The sight that greets her is both a comfort and a source of fresh anxiety, Jason Morgan, sitting vigil, watching over her. With quiet efficiency, he fills in the blanks of the previous evening, her distress, his intervention. As he mentions preparing her medication, a wall instantly slams down. Britt cuts him off, a defensive reflex born of deep-seated fear. She knows the questions about her health, her stability, her need for the medication, are hovering on his lips. "It's okay. I'll wait," he says, his voice a low rumble of unwavering support. He assures her he is on her side, that something clearly terrified her enough to seek oblivion in a bottle. But Britt, raw and exposed, cannot face that conversation. She retreats behind the need for a shower, politely but firmly asking him to leave. Alone, as the water runs, the fragmented memories solidify into crushing clarity. The confession of her feelings, the vulnerable moment, and the terrifying flashback to the kiss she both feared and dared him to give. A whispered yikes to the empty room encapsulates the profound mortification and panic. The dual yikes is for the memory and the terrifying prospect of what it means for their complicated, fraught connection. Legal maneuvers and foggy recollections. Alexis Davis, prioritizing Willow's trial above all else, formally hands her other active cases over to her colleague, Marco. Her focus must be absolute. The support arrives in the form of Suzanne, bearing coffee and a request to observe the trial prep, a request Alexis gladly grants. However, when Drew and Willow arrive, Drew's protective hackles are immediately up. He views Suzanne as an unnecessary audience to Willow's ordeal and wants the room cleared. Marco, indifferent, departs, but Willow surprises them by asking Suzanne to stay, perhaps finding solace in her steady, calm presence. The session turns to Drew. Under Alexis's careful prompting, he walks through the night he was shot. His recollection is frustratingly vague, thoughts of Willow, then sudden, violent pain. He strains, a flicker of something, a sound, a shadow, a sensation, teasing the edges of his memory. But wait. I do remember something else, he admits, frustration etching his features. Yet, the memory remains elusive, a ghost in the machinery of his mind. I just don't know what it is. It's a maddening non-clue, a locked door with the key just out of reach. Valentine's signal and shifting alliances. Meanwhile, Valentine Cassadine, having escaped one dangerous situation, finds himself in another, this time, shivering and desperate in his own home, now occupied by Carly Corinthos. Her sympathy for his frozen state is non-existent. His urgent request is to get a message to Anna Devane, his one trusted ally. Carly's terse "no can do, she's out of town," is both truth and a bitter irony, given Anna's actual predicament. Undeterred, Valentine pivots. He entrusts Carly with a simple, specific task: deliver a key tied with a blue ribbon to his daughter, Charlotte. It is a silent signal only she will understand, meaning "I am alive, I am safe, stay where you are." At the Cassadine residence, the atmosphere is tense. Lulu Spencer brings Nathan coffee, a small gesture of normalcy. Dante arrives with the grim update: no sign of Valentine. Charlotte, suffocating under the weight of worry and confinement, retreats to the porch, with Nathan keeping a watchful, protective distance. Inside, Dante and Lulu have a sober conversation about Valentine, the missing Peter August, Dalton, and the cold reality that Sonny Corinthos is the most likely perpetrator. The unspoken fear is that Peter will never be found. As the officers depart, Carly arrives under the guise of checking on Lulu. Her real mission is interrupted by the unwelcome appearance of Jack, a man whose intentions are always suspect. A brief, tense exchange follows where Lulu makes it unequivocally clear that Jack will not use Charlotte as a pawn to get to Valentine. As Carly makes a swift exit, she discreetly drops the key with its blue ribbon. No sooner is she gone than Charlotte, defying instructions, comes inside and surprisingly tells Jack she is willing to talk, a decision that could unravel all of Valentine's careful plans for her safety. The ADA's gambit, charming the Cobra. Back at the PCPD, ADA Justine Turner is playing a deep game. After exchanging pleasantries with Commissioner Max Scorpio, she cuts to the chase, asking bluntly if Sonny Corinthos is capable of killing Peter August. Max's answer is immediate and unequivocal, absolutely. But he follows it with a grave warning: if Sonny is involved, Peter's body will never surface. He is a man who knows how to make problems disappear permanently. Turner then confides in Molly Lansing Davis, revealing her strategy. Sonny's recent charm offensive, the donations, the public goodwill, is noted. She implies, playing along, smiling for the cameras while diligently searching for the tangible evidence that will finally put him behind bars. Molly, having seen countless attempts to dismantle Sonny's empire fail, offers a weary best of luck. Her warning is implicit: many have tried, all have failed, and the collateral damage is often immense. Turner's determination, however, seems unshaken. She believes she can be the one to succeed where others have fallen. An uneasy alliance against Sidwell. At the Metro Court, a summit of a different kind takes place. Laura Spencer, racked with guilt, apologizes to Sonny for contacting him when she discovered Peter's body, an act that gave Jen Sidwell devastating leverage over them both. Sonny, in a rare moment of political calculation rather than brute force, assesses their position. He and Laura meticulously list what Sidwell holds over her, compromising information that forces her compliance. For now, Sidwell's demands are political, but the horizon is dark with the threat of more. Can you stomach doing his bidding until I can nail him? Sonny asks Laura, a question that goes to the core of her integrity. They are in a waiting game. Sonny vows to figure a way out, invoking their past successful partnership in bringing down Frank Smith. We'll do the same with Sidwell, he assures her. Jason Morgan joins them, and the strategy is solidified. They will allow Sidwell to believe he holds all the power, all the while working in the shadows to uncover his ultimate goal and systematically dismantle his position. It is a promise of collective strength, a union of the city's moral and tactical centers to defeat a common enemy. The final moves: strategy, sulking, and sabotage. As the day reaches its climax, tensions peak in multiple quarters. In the legal arena, Drew and Alexis's professional disagreement over trial strategy simmers before Drew finally, grudgingly, concedes to her expertise and plan. This minor victory is quickly overshadowed by Willow's emotional devastation upon learning Alexis's true desire is for her not to testify at all. The fragile trust between client and attorney is tested once more. A sinister promotion, Marco seeks out Britt, not with condolences for her rough night, but with a proposition. He offers her access to his father's advanced new laboratory. Their secret work, he insists, will continue despite the unfortunate setback with Peter August. He places her in charge, a promotion laced not with congratulations, but with implicit threats. Her competence is required, but her compliance is demanded. A signal received, Charlotte, having been less than helpful to Jack, retreats to the porch to sulk. Her eyes, scanning the ground in her boredom, catch the glint of metal and a flash of blue. She picks up the key with the blue ribbon, her father's signal. Hope and confusion war within her. Carly, having completed her task, informs the hiding Valentine and issues a new order. If he insists on staying to help bring down the mysterious Brennan, he must vanish into the attic. Valentine agrees, vowing to stay until Anna returns, a wait that, unbeknownst to him, may be agonizingly long.